What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some practice battles here in the Ultra Premier League. Who out there has no idea what team you're going to run in Ultra Premier? Yeah, I am in that club for sure. So here's the thing, like in today's video, I'm just going to be showcasing a bunch of practice battles against my patrons in the Ultra League Premier format, trying out a bunch of different teams, just kind of getting a feel for some of these new Pokemon that might be appearing, like XL Skarmories, XL Umbreons. I unfortunately do not have enough resources to max out my Hundo Skarmory or max out my Hundo Umbreon. And what I have found is that these Pokemon, these XL Pokemon, if you're not able to really power them up to their max level, to level 50, they do not perform nearly as well. Umbreon is one of like the key candidates of this problem here. You can go in a PvP and run the simulations of like a level 42 or 43 Umbreon, which is what I have right now, versus a level 51 Best Buddy boosted, and the performance is drastically different. Very similar story for Skarmory as well. So if you are out there and you're like debating running an XL Umbreon or an XL Skarmory, make sure you double check some of these matchups on PvP and that you'll actually be satisfied with how they perform, because it was a little bit underwhelming for me when I tried them out. But again, I only have the resources to kind of power them up to like level 42 or 43. It's not a dust problem, it's very much a candy problem, so I'm gonna have to get out there and grind for sure. But I wanted to talk about Ultra Premier, the meta in general, and team building in this format here. So here's the thing with Ultra Premier. It's a double-edged sword here. The pro of Ultra Premier is that there are so many viable options in this league. I know, like in Great League, technically speaking, there's more Pokemon that you could possibly run into. But there's still a very refined meta in Great League. You're very likely to see an Azu. You're very likely to see a Galarian Stunfisk. You're very likely to see Skarmories, Alterias, stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of reoccurring Pokemon that appear in Great League. In Ultra Premier, in my opinion, there really is no clearly defined meta, which is what makes this league very exciting. It can be very frustrating at times because you might feel like no team that you run has very much consistency, because there's just so many different matchups that you're going to be accountable for. I guess like the most common Pokemon that I have still been seeing in Ultra Premier, like Lapras, is a very strong option, very bulky, amazing stats, nice like moveset of like Ice Shard and then Surf and Scroll Bash. Venusaur, very, very powerful as like an anti-water and anti-charmer, because I've seen the rise, oh man, I have seen the rise of double charm in Ultra Premier. Man, you thought Grasshole was annoying in Great League with double Shadow Razor Leafers? Well, we have double charmers coming to town. So whenever you're building a team, you kind of need to keep that team comp in mind and kind of double check yourself to see if you're actually going to be able to have enough coverage to threaten those, like the double charm lines. Snorlax is a very strong option, typically functioning very well as a safe swap here. Same with Alolan Muck. These are pretty solid safe swap Pokemon. Same with Gallade. These are Pokemon that you will see fairly frequently. Dragonites as well. Tangros are popping up. Empoleons, Toxicroaks. Like there's just such a wide range of Pokemon that you're going to see. So I think the best thing that you can do is just try to build a well-balanced team that covers as much as you can. Like, especially with this meta, there's, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a team that's going to be able to handle like every single matchup. There's always going to be those one or two Pokemon where it's like, if you see this in the lead, it's going to be difficult to play out. But having that awareness of your team is pretty important there. And so This is why, like, sometimes these ABB lines actually function fairly well in Ultra Premier as well, but it is contingent on you baiting out, you know, your worst matchup in the back. So let's kind of talk through some of these teams that I just threw together very quickly. I will be going live on Twitch probably right as this video is being uploaded. So if you want to watch me do some Ultra Premier battles live, make sure to check me out over on Twitch. The link is always down in the description. It's kind of fun keeping a Charmer in the back, and the reason being is Gallade is a very common safe swap, and so it's pretty nice to have a hard punish for that. You could also use Drift Blim as a similar function as a hard punish to a Gallade safe swap. But running a Charmer in the back, I did this in Season 4, I ran like Toxicroak, Lapras, and then I kept Clefable in the back. And a double shielded Charmer almost works as like a fail-safe if everything's going wrong in the lead matchup, in the secondary matchup as well. Just save 2 shields for the Charmer, and because how busted strong Charm is, you might be able to just muscle your way through whatever matchup is in the back there. But definitely something to consider. Alright, good game there. Drift Blim lead into Charizard. There's a lot of Dragon Breath Charizards floating around. Personally, in Ultra Premier, I still prefer Fire Spin, and the reason being is for the fast move farm down potential against things like Escavalier, Abomasnow. You also actually get neutral damage against the Charmers, whereas if you're running Dragon Breath, it's a little bit sketchier because you're going to get to the blast burns a lot slower, and Charizard is not the bulkiest, so the Charmers can kind of double shield and muscle their way through you there. So out comes Umbreon, and because I have 2 things in the back that can somewhat handle Umbreon, there's no point in me staying in that matchup with my Drift Blim. Venusaur, very powerful Pokemon here. Surfetch'd has also risen in popularity a lot. I've been seeing a lot of Surfetch'd. I still don't have one built. And I've been seeing a wide variety of movesets here. I probably personally would still run Leaf Blade and Night Slash, but I've seen a lot of people run Brave Bird on Surfetch'd as well. Nice endgame nuke when shields are down. If you go on the PvP Poke rankings, I think Galarian Stunfisk, level 50 Galarian Stunfisk is like ranked #1 right now. Guess what? Hardly anyone is going to have a Stunfisk built at this early on in the season. So I don't think you need to factor that in too much into your team building. And even if they do run one, it's unlikely that it's at level 50 or level 51 with the best buddy boost, and so it's not going to be performing as amazing as it is displayed on PvP Poke, and it's just so resource intensive. Like, man, are people really going to have that many XL Galarian Stunfisk candies? It'd be pretty wild, but I don't think we need to worry about that too much at this point in the season. Obstagoon. In Ultra Premier, sometimes running Night Slash and Cross Chop on Obstagoon is pretty nice to get more fighting type damage against things like Snorlax, Lapras, Empoleon, stuff like that. Whereas otherwise, sometimes those Pokemon are so bulky enough that you have to go into a shield deficit. So I'm using this Skarmory here. Again, I think this is it's like a level 42 or 41. I have not been able to power this thing up very much, and I'm still working on getting the best buddy status. Scizor is very interesting. If I was running Scizor here, I would run Bullet Punch as the fast move. It really offers you great farm down potential against Charmers and neutral damage against Dragonite. I'm just going straight Brave Bird here, and it lands on the Empoleon. Not that much damage, obviously it is resisted. Shadow Machamp, I was finally able to build a Shadow Machamp for Ultra League with decent IVs. Pretty fun. I really love running Cross Chop and Rock Slide on it. Cross Chop, you get to it in only 5 counters, so very fast, very spammy, and outputs a lot of damage. But man, you gotta look out for Charmers, you gotta look out for Gallade. Even against some of the flyers, it's a little bit sketchy, but that's where Rock Slide is really nice. And this Snorlax Gallade matchup, I'm able to lick down the Gallade, which is good. And then I have all this energy to threaten the Empoleon. I do prefer Body Slam and Superpower on my Snorlax in Ultra Premier. For the Obstagoon matchup, you need Superpower to even be able to threaten that. And against Lapras, it gives you some heavy-hitting, super effective charge moves there. Okay, this Swampert Skarmory matchup, especially if it's against a level 50 Skarmory, Skarmory wins against Swampert, which is crazy, because the Skarmory has enough bulk that it takes 3 Hydro Cannons to KO it, which is pretty nuts. So it is pretty crucial that you're pretty efficient with your energy management if you are on the Swampert side of this. My opponent switches into an Empoleon, and I'm just going straight for the Earthquake. I actually feel that Sludge Wave is a little bit more preferred on Swampert in Ultra Premier, but the Earthquake did provide a nice surprise factor there. Sludge Wave for the Abomasnows, for anything like Dragonite, Gyarados, things where otherwise you would be kind of walled by it. I'm going to store all that energy on my Swampert and then switch into Umbreon. Umbreon, man, you thought it was bulky in the Great League. When this thing maxes out at level 50, the bulk on this is absolutely insane. We're definitely going to be seeing some timeout matchups in Ultra Premier once we're able to max out things like Umbreon and Galarian Stunfisk, once people start getting enough resources for that, because the battles just go on so long when you have Pokemon that are that bulky. Machamp does win CMP against my Swampert here, so all this energy I just let go, and then I'm going to save the shield for Togekiss here and see if it can handle the back line. Oh, it's just Machamp, so I'm going to be able to charm it down there. Good game. Drifblim into Lapras. This is not good. Drifblim is another one of those Pokemon that we can power up more. I ran the simulations of like... So I have a Hundo Best Buddy Drifblim, which I think is able to get up to level 43.5. And I ran the simulations against the Ultra League Premier meta with a level 43.5 Hundo Drifblim versus a level 50, or I think he gets up to 50.5, Best Buddy boosted Drifblim. I did not see much of a difference. Even actually some of the matchups, the Hundo Drifblim actually does more, because I'm assuming you reach like an attack break point. So like here's the thing with these level 50 Pokemon. Some of the matchups don't really change that much when you commit all the resources to it, compared to like the original best ranking in Ultra Premier. So it is very important that you do your research before you commit these big investments here. Like, my gosh, it's just so much dust, so much candy, and in reality, some of these matchups, it doesn't really improve that much. It might make the matchups a little bit cleaner, but it is very important that you look into these matchups and decide for yourself, okay, is it worth the investment, or can I just power up the current Pokemon that I've been using a couple more levels and call it good, and see how it performs there. Lapras is able to take me out there. Good game. Skarmory on Ampharos. This is terrible. Man, Ampharos is still a powerhouse, especially since there's not as many, Galarian Stunfisk rolling around right now. This might be one of the final seasons that like an Ampharos lead is really, really strong, because I know that Galarian Stunfisk is going to continue to rise in popularity, which is where I think having Focus Blast on Ampharos is going to be pretty crucial. I know a lot of people have been like running Dragon Pulse, myself included, to give you some neutral damage against the grass types. Gives you super effective damage against the dragon types, but man, I think you are going to need some coverage against those G-Fisk when they come out. So I think Focus Blast is the way to go. I'm able to regain switch advantage there, which is really nice for me. Snorlax has a safe swap, really powerful there. I'm able to take out the Venusaur because of my energy advantage. I am down in shields, and I'm getting farmed down by this Ampharos, which is terrible because I have a Shadow Machamp in the back, and it's not going to appreciate these charge moves. So I was really hoping that this was a Thunder Punch here, but it was a Focus Blast. I still survived, which is good for me, but this is pretty terrible because this Gallade has 2 shields. So I definitely could have committed to like throwing both of these sky attacks, but at this point in time I felt like it was just going to be a fast move game. So I'm really hoping that I can counter this down in time, but it was simultaneous feint. I needed to be able to KO that. Good game. Okay, Toxicroak lead I still think is really nice. Obviously very weak to Gallade and still struggles against the flyers, but the sludge bomb damage is very nice. It offers you great knockback against the Charmers. So check this out. Like, I'm using Lapras as a safe swap here, and it's met with a Magnezone. I can still win back switch here. I just have to shield up the wild charges, and then because the defense is going to be dropped so much, I can ice shard it all the way down. So I am going to be in a shield deficit, but I'm able to regain switch, which sometimes is really huge in these matchups. So we will see. Out comes Dragonite again, and then I'm stupidly greedy here. Should have just thrown anything. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Ultra League is by far my worst league. I have the like least consistent performance in Ultra League. I feel pretty confident in Master League and Great League for sure, but Ultra League I really need to not so much learn the counts on the charge moves. I'm pretty comfortable with that, but further understand how much damage some of these charge moves are doing, because I just still don't know. And so I'm kind of learning through experience here. I have, you know, like thousands of wins in the Great League compared to only, you know, a couple hundred in Ultra League, or I might have hit the 1,000 mark. I need to check up on that, but I definitely have way more experience in Great League. This is a good lead for me. I think this is the Dragonite double grass that I was trying out for a little bit, which is kind of fun. My opponent led Swampert, and then they have Empoleon on the switch in here. So two things weak to grass. So I'm liking where we're at here. Empoleon, because of that steel typing, actually puts up a fight against this Venusaur because of the access to Drill Peck. I'm able to farm it down, which is good for me. There's no way that Swampert comes back in. It's Escavalier. Escavalier double resist grass type attacks. Also double resist poison type attacks because of that steel typing. And so I'm just going to chip away as much as possible here. But it's pretty important. Or actually at this point I switch into my Dragonite because I know that honestly switch advantage doesn't matter that much, because Dragonite is going to beat both of the Pokemon in the back. And I still have my Tangrowth, which is going to be able to get some nice farm off of the Swampert, and then have a Rock Slide to threaten that Escavalier because it's pretty low at this point. It is a Shadow Swampert, so I don't think I commit any shields here. Just going to save it for Tangrowth. Let's see if this is a Hydro Cannon or a Sludge Wave. It is Hydro Cannon. Does a nice chunk of damage. It honestly looks like three Hydro Cannons from a Shadow Swampert might KO a Dragonite. We get this cool glitch here where like my switch menu is stuck at the bottom there. So I try to get fancy and catch, but really I just needed that freaking menu to get off my screen. And then I'm going to be able to throw this Rock Slide and take out the Escavalier. Good game. I think I got one more battle here. Swampert into Magnezone. This is a really favorable lead for me. And out comes Gyarados. I don't have a response to a Gyarados switch in here. So I'm going to absorb the Aqua Tail and then switch into my Drifblim. And then I get outpaced to this first move, which is unfortunate. I'm scared to lose swap here. I really need to guarantee that I can maintain swap. I'm going straight for the Shadow Ball. I even undercharged it a little bit in case they let that through, but they do shield it. This is not great. I'm just going to throw this Icy Wind to debuff the Dragonite, but man, or the Gyarados. But this Gyarados safe swap is really putting in a lot of work here. And to be honest, I have not encountered too many people that run an electric type in the back. So Gyarados safe swap is pretty interesting. I'm going to Icy Wind that Magnezone, really just to stall out the switch clock so I can get my Swampert in on this thing. That does not KO, but I'm able to Mudshot it down. That's good for me. If the Gyarados comes out, I know it's pretty low. So I can just Hydro Cannon it. It's a Togekiss in the back. I really should have just went Sludge Wave here, but I'm going to try to go for Hydro Cannon, and they no shield. Really sucks, and then I'm not able to get to that move because the charm snuck through. Bad gameplay. Very clunky gameplay there. I'm going to bring out my Drifblim, able to get this Icy Wind off. I'm anticipating that this is going to get the final shield, and then my Alolan Muck will be able to close out this game, but man, it was very clunky. Let me know what team comps you all have been running in Ultra Premier so far. I will be, again, going live on Twitch pretty soon after this video drops, so you can watch me test out some teams live. But thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content. Best of luck out there in Ultra League, and I will catch you all in the next video.